duty hour, isn't it?
Well, we just started, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah.
Shady, what did you say?
I said you're so dark, you blend right in with your couch.
Oh, that's so fucked up, bro.
Oh man, that can't go on the show, man. That's just crazy.
Yeah, that can't go on the show, Shady. Gosh.
What are you doing to us, man?
He might be too pretty for the show.
Yeah, I like Jack.
See? Team Jack's here now. Look.
Hey, so I listened to the show yesterday, and my microphone sounded distorted. So I turned it down. Does it sound too low? Does it sound okay?
It sounds fine. Sounds fine to me.
It sounds.
Oh, look who's here! Look who's here! Look who's here!
We got full house. Who else is coming on tonight?
Hell, I don't know.
Dan, you're gonna have to talk. You got to talk directly into your mic. When you turn your head away from the mic,
yeah,
the audio goes out when I was editing it last night.
Okay.
Shady said he don't want to do that extra work anymore. He said,
"Well, no, what it is,
I
think he's got the gates turned on his mic.
The gains?
Yeah, that's what he said.
No, not the gate. There's a gate, like the little
it takes out the background noise.
There's a little white.
Not
that. There's a little switch. You've got a studio mic, so on those type of mics, there's like a little white switch on there, and what it does is it narrows and opens up the mic.
There ain't shit on this one.
It might be covered by the mic condom. I think there is one on there.
Well, you just strap it to his mouth.
That version might not have it, but I thought the way it looks, it might. I don't know.
Yeah, it's whatever.
Hey Richard, how you doing, buddy?
Yo, how's it going, fellas? How's it going?
It's going good.
I'm over here playing with the new DJI Ronin. Yeah, boys.
Well, Robert Poss. All right, guys. It is Wednesday. It is the edition where it is September 23rd that we dedicate the show to long haulers. Co-host of this show tonight, of course, the most grumpy old man in the town, Shady Spencer.
That's me.
The prettiest man on the network is Mojo Wilson.
Me.
No, well, thank you. Well, you mean whatever, Shady. Stop trying to take my model status. You'll never be able to match up to this.
And we got to say something again, Mojo. I need some music today, and I couldn't remember because obviously, I'm stuck in Groundhog's Day. What is your station? So when I want to vibe out, I can listen to it.
Jeez, you forgot already. It hasn't even been 24 hours.
I know.
I can't help it.
You guys don't understand the groundhog thing. It's a thing.
Oh, Jack's been around for it, but yeah, seriously, Mojo, give us a little love. Tell us.
It's mojoradio101.com.
Okay, mojoradio101.com. Because I had to go get treatment today, and as a long hauler, first of all, welcome Robert Poss. He is an extraordinary photographer,
Robert,
as well as our bestowed pastor. He's our guy who knows about the good book, right? And he's part of the journey. So welcome, Robert. Thank you for driving me today to get my treatments. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to do it.
Yeah, my pleasure.
And Jack is my Swami. Now, we're all on the same team, so it doesn't matter which way we look at it. We're all part of brotherhood right now of going through some serious shit. And I just want to say thank you to everybody on this team, because without it, we wouldn't have anything. I don't know what happened to Robert. Richard, I mean.
Yeah, I'm here, bro.
Oh.
Richard said.
Oh, we got more people in here now. Okay. Oh, there we go. Now I can see everybody. Anyways, so Wednesday night's Long Haulers edition for Dan the Messenger show, and it's sponsored by Mojo. Have you been hitting your pin already? You got a smile on your face.
No, I'm happy. I love everybody. What are you talking about? What? I'm always smiling. I'm just happy to hang out with my brothers tonight.
Well,
I'm going to be good tonight.
I got one smiling, the other one get the grumpy eyes on the left of me. It's like the Brady Bunch in real time. And then, we got Jessica below. She's a long hauler who's been coming on the show. Thank you very much. It looks like she's out and about tonight. So anyways, Wednesday night, The Dan the Messenger show is dedicated to long haulers. This is what this is all about. This is why we do the show, period, in the story. The Dan the Messenger show is to help people who are going through this. We all got 99 problems. I love the intro, but it's true. And then right now, I think we feel like we got 130 problems, maybe a little more, but we're trying to work them down. As brothers with different specialties, we're all working in the same direction, rowing to try to help. And Jessica, welcome tonight. By the way, welcome, Jessica. If you can hear me.
She's at a volleyball game, she said, so it might be kind of noisy where she's at.
Okay. Well, listen, this show's for long haulers, so we'll talk about some good things, bad things, fun things.
Jessica's mic is not on.
Yeah, she muted it. There's a chat section. I guess Shady can see. I can't see it. This is the beauty of editing now. I like this. Now that
Shady's gonna have some editing tonight, though.
Yeah. It says, hey, everyone, at daughter's volleyball game, didn't want to miss this. So, yes.
Okay.
That's awesome.
It might just be loud where she's at.
Okay, so tonight we're going to talk about, for long haulers, so we've been doing these movies. Now, these aren't movies that I choose. These are just movies that have been bestowed upon me in a way that has changed my outlook on a lot of things. Robert Poss, the photographer extraordinaire, he met me about, 2 months ago, 3 months ago. It was a while ago. And we met through a mutual friend, and we started talking about a movie called The Book of Eli. Well, The Book of Eli is before this one. The Matrix was actually after when I watched it again. And Shady, did you get a chance to watch The Matrix last night?
No, but I've seen that movie like 60 times, so I have most of the lines memorized.
No, it was Mojo. Mojo hadn't seen it.
Oh, Mojo, did you watch it?
Well, here, see, what had happened was
That means no.
I put on my Amazon Prime, right? And then I went to go put it on my TV on my bed, in my bedroom. And remember, I took my medicine during the show, and I fell asleep like 2 minutes into the movie. So I'm sorry.
So when the green letters started dropping from the screen, he was out.
Yeah, it said Matrix. I passed out.
It was saying, "Wake up, Mojo."
Right. He doesn't know what that means. You can't take that. Don't make a reference he can't see if he hadn't seen it. He won't understand.
I mean, sometimes, when you do your homework late, this happens. But Mojo is going through it like we all are. Like, if I said between me, Mojo, and Shady, who's going through more pain, it would be a tie. It would be a straight up tie. Everyone's pain is the same. Pain is pain. And right now, we're going through it. And we got ripped out of the Matrix about, I don't know, how many months ago did they call the red alert on us, Mojo? Can you recall?
Oh, it's been a while.
He was sleeping.
Why does everyone always think I'm sleeping too?
Now I thought, come on, Jack is supposed to be on Shady on Mojo's side. Shady.
Look, all right, let me and Shady, you got to edit this part out. I'm sorry. The black, or maybe not.
Oh my God!
The black in my eyelids match my skin, and my eyes are almost like brown black, so it looks like I'm sleeping. But really, they're open. See. But I'm not really asleep. So
brother, I hear you, man. I hear you. I suffer from dark eyes too, bro. Look.
Yeah, exactly. See? So if you guys are talking, I'm not blocking you guys out. I swear, I'm really listening and I'm really awake. Now when I start going like this, then I'm asleep. You know what I mean?
Are those fake eyelashes you're wearing? Is that the problem? Fake eyelashes?
Yeah, fake eyelashes. Yeah.
Lucky for us, it's a podcast, and the video really doesn't matter. So
yeah, thank goodness.
I'll wait till I put the video up. You watch. No, but Shady, real talk. You've seen the movie, right?
Yes, I have.
I know Robert's seen the movie.
Oh yeah.
Richard, have you seen the movie?
Too many times.
Jessica, you can just shake your head up or down. Have you seen the movie? Yes, she gives us a thumbs up. Now, I didn't choose it, so let's talk about it though, because it's kind of weird. Mojo, since you're in the dark about this, let's open up with Shady. What's your reference to the movie? Like, what did you get from it, from The Matrix?
I don't know. There's a story behind it.
What?
I don't know.
I knew that.
It was just kind of trippy. I mean, basically what it is that we're all slaves is what it comes down to. We're all slaves to like this world. And that's what I kind of gathered out of it. I mean, there's so many like hidden things in the movie, but it basically comes down to is everyone has a choice is what I get.
Okay, everyone has a choice. And who are you? Are you Neo, Trinity, Morpheus? Who are you?
Well, I mean, my boobs are big enough to, I guess, be Trinity, but that's not the case.
Okay. All right. I mean, it's good comedy, bad comedy, and okay comedy. It happens. It happens. Mojo.
I'm probably the guy who sits behind the computer and does all the crazy stuff. You know,
He's
like,
the one that plugs you in.
I'm Tank. That's who I am.
Yes,
Yeah.
he is Tank. He is Tank. And listen, by the way, that interview was amazing. Shady, that was just unbelievable that we had the Machine Gun Preacher's good friend on from the Punishers. I'm not laughing at the Punishers. I'm just saying the irony of these movies and how the order they're following and how things happen is pretty cool. It's almost like we've been pulled out of the Matrix and we are going, this doesn't seem right anymore. And it's almost like the entire country's been pulled out. And most of them went back in. They went right back in that rat race. And they don't know all the hidden things that are going on. So what do? You talk about it. And that's what we're doing right now on the show. We're talking about a really cool movie called The Matrix. Robert, Richard, I'm sorry. Give me a little bit of your input on it, your outlook on The Matrix.
Who did we hit there? I heard a Richard and a Robert.
Richard, I'm sorry, Richard. Richard Arias, people, by the way.
Yeah, folks.
Is our
coming at you.
Is our
What's man? Matrix to me was almost like one of those movies, like Shady said, man. It's like you have this choice, right? And it's either you continue to let yourself get stuck by the man, or you defeat the man. You know what I'm saying? And you get to that next level. And there was like a part of that was like where like they started to multiply and like he just started to take off and fly and like everybody was like fighting, bro. I've seen Matrix number 1, 2, Revolution, like all of them, dude. So like when I think about the Matrix, like the fight is intense, bro. Like it goes deep, but it's about like, like I said, bro, like sticking it to the man, bro. Not letting yourself be taken advantage of and like sticking to that system that everybody's like a bunch of sheep and know that you have the capability to shine like Neo.
The key word that I heard here was sheep. And the reason why that is like, I think a very significant word is because that's a lot of what's going on in today's world, especially when it comes to COVID-19. Are we sheep and just follow what the media is telling us? Or do we go out and search for the real answers? And that's kind of what Neo had to do in this movie, was go out and search for the real answers to what was going on in his proverbial world.
And that's what's so awesome about it, is that when you go looking for these answers, like there's no telling where these roads are going to lead to, but everybody's telling you it'll be from their experience or from this and from that, and it's written in this, but then you end up going down this path and you end up finding out that, no matter what ended up happening, you've had it all along. You know what I'm saying? You've always been that champion.
Okay, so Robert, what did you get out of it? Let's hear a little tidbit from you.
Oh, well, I mean,
let's hear the videographer side of it.
I love, photographer, but
I'm sorry, photographer. I've had a long day, so excuse me. Richard's the video dude. I do photos. Richard's pictures move. My pictures don't move. Oh man, I'm getting roasted. That's great. I love it.
That's all right. I know you can take it. That's why. No, so I guess like with everything, I'm very like analytical when it comes to stuff. Just in general, I've always been that way. And so The Matrix is like a movie where it's like you can literally take like the first 10 to 15, maybe even 20 minutes of the movie, and like it opens up so many pieces to puzzles when you talk about like symbolisms and stuff. So it's the main character, of course, everybody knows is Neo. Which, when I looked at that, the first thing that I thought of was, of course, the Trinity, being 3. And you're like, well, what do you mean this is Neo? Like, well, he's the one, apparently, in the movie and stuff. Like, he's supposed to be this guy that's going to unlock the mysteries of what everybody else has been trying to do. And it's interesting to me that if you take his name, Neo, I don't know if anybody's ever thought about this, or it might be plain as day to some people, but I caught it. And it was after the fact of me seeing the movie. But Neo, if you unscramble his name, Neo, you can spell one, O-N-E, with Neo. And it's interesting, the word one, you have three letters that form something that means single, which again is the Trinity. You know, we know the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit when it comes to the biblical stuff, when you throw that in there. So that aspect of the movie there just kind of like was like, whoa, that's kind of eye-opening and stuff. And what I believe Shady was saying, as far as the choice, you know, God gave us a choice by making free will an option in our creation. So when we are brought into this world, we have a choice to do what we want to do. It's not like we pop in and we're robots the whole time. We have to do a certain thing. We're programmed to do a certain thing. We're programmed to live, yeah, and our body's programming. Our lungs are programmed to breathe air, and our blood is programmed to flow in our body. That's automatic. But when it comes like, oh, do I want to go to church today, or do I want to go, you know, get drunk in a bar, or what? I mean, whatever you want to do, that's your free will to choose.
Mojo,
You know, so
it's still your birthday month.
Yes, it is. I'm ready. Let's go.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
All right. Well, listen. He's the pastor, right? So he's going to get in it deep, and I got dug in it deep myself, but I'm not going to add my part of it yet. Richard, I'm sorry, our Swami's on right now, and we call him.
I'm the Oracle. I'm the Oracle. So, you know.
We call. Oh, he's the Oracle. All right, he's the Oracle.
there you go.
He's our Swami, but his name goes by Jackson. So welcome, Jackson, a true friend. I mean, what he did for me over the weekend was amazing. But we'll talk about the movie with Jack first. Tell me what you think about the movie, Jack. What was your perspective?
You know what? I don't watch movies like other people. I watch them for entertainment purposes. And I watched it a while ago. So I didn't get a chance to watch it yesterday. So I'll just have to pretend like I know all the answers because I'm the Oracle, and that's okay. So I'll defer.
Shady, you got any more input on this movie? Because I'd like to hear.
I mean, that's kind of, I mean, the overall synopsis of the movie is that, you know, it comes down to when you learn what's really happening out there in the real world, are you willing to accept it and just go along with it, or are you going to be one of the people who tries to change what's really going on? You know, I mean, do you have the solutions to fix it, or are you just going to just keep, like Richard said, be a sheep and just keep following along everybody else?
And it's kind of funny, man, because he ends up going into, like, you know, these battles and these things, you know, like figuring out these things and like about like trying not to be this sheep and like, you know, trying to separate himself and like save this, like this second part of, because remember, there's a part where he goes into, you know, the Matrix, and then he's the outside. So there's like two realities to it. So, you know, in this Matrix, like everybody's like, you know, Neo's the one, and then outside of the Matrix, everybody's like, Neo's the one. Like Pastor Rob was just saying, you know, there's kind of some symbolistic, you know, part to what they're kind of hitting with the, you know, the one and the Holy Trinity and all that. But it's so controversial because, you know, man is not supposed to have that power of the one who has the power. You know what I'm saying? So now they're putting Neo in this this ideology to, I guess, the Hollywood scene that, you know, he's God to these people. He's in a safe civilization, and bro, he goes and does just that. You know what I'm saying?
He becomes the savior. Yeah,
exactly.
I think I've seen this movie, by the way.
Oh,
Hold on. Isn't this the movie like when he's like in slow motion? It's like action.
yeah.
Ooh, like that.
Yeah.
I think I saw the previews of it on TV once.
That's what.
So Mojo has gone from not seeing it to seeing it to seeing a preview of it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, I mean, from a filmographer's point of view, Richard, now not Robert, but Richard, the cinematography of it was absolutely incredible. At the time, this movie's 21 years old.
No, of course, man. The things that they went into to get those shots in the movie, editing wise, shot wise, we're talking about frame rate rise. Like, I think in that time, I think shooting it like, you know, crazy frame rates was already a big thing, because you got to think about it. When they do a Shark Tax and they do Shark Week, like, man, you have to be super innovative because like sharks, when they breach and they make these attacks, like trying to get all those pixels and all those frame rates put together to see how they attack and how they bite the seal is a really big deal. So imagine the kind of things that they have to get into to make movies like The Matrix, and they make those scenes where they walking on walls. You know, those slow-mos, those are big deals, man. That's real cinematography right there.
So I can assume most of us fanboys out there, when we seen it 21 years ago, we just seen exactly what you talked about. Like, we're going, hell yeah, this girl can jump up in the middle there, stop, kick you like 20 times, knock 5 guys out, and be like, yeah, I'm a badass. And that was Trinity. That was Trinity.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna throw you back one time real quick. Like, everybody loves the like triple kicks and shit, right? Who knows about Mortal Kombat?
I was just about to say that. I was about to say this movie's like Mortal Kombat, I guess, because that's all I'm thinking.
That was
Shady's like, I remember that.
That was the original.
Oh, we played the video games. That's even sadder. We played it before as a movie. But to the point of it is, so the 21-year-old version, 21 years ago me versus the one who's seen it recently, looked at it from a totally different perspective. I got the symbolism of it almost from rip. And being a Marvel fan, I thought, well, let me start looking for stuff. And sure as crap, as soon as he wakes up, the first thing he does is goes to the door. It looks like it's a drug deal. So you're like, okay, drug deal. I've seen these before. Get away, And he goes to his little safe, opens it up, and he has a book that looks like a Bible, but it doesn't have the Bible. It's not a Bible. And then when he opens up the Bible, it says nihilism. Right there, it's black and white. And it wasn't drugs. It was information. He was exchanging a high that you had to get through some type of, whatever it was. And people were living outside of the Matrix. That's what they were doing. They were getting high so they didn't have to be a part of the Matrix. And Neo was part of those black hat, white hat type of guys that was getting that information out to them. That was 21 years ago, before the high-speed internet. So, it's kind of a big deal in that perspective. But then when you're a Marvel fan and you're looking at Easter eggs, you're going, oh, crap. The name of the ship is called, what's the name of the ship, Robert?
It's called Nebuchadnezzar.
And what is that from?
It's from the Bible.
And where in the Bible is that from?
Well, Nebuchadnezzar was a king, and he was, I guess, what I would call secular. He was not a believer, and if my memory serves, he was actually the story of Daniel when Nebuchadnezzar was. You caught me off guard a minute. I don't know why.
He was the king of Babylon, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think it was Babylon. That's what I'm saying. I'm doing some cheating. Hang on a minute. I'll chime in with that in just a second.
So I'm gonna let him cut in. I'm letting him get caught up to it. So I'm watching this and going, what? Because Robert and I met months prior, and I was telling him my story. And I've said up and down I never owned a Bible because I really haven't. And when we met more on a religious level where he was just connecting with me and going, what? I'm like, I don't know. And he's telling me his background. I'm like, huh. He goes, do you know much about the book of Daniel? I said, I've never even owned the book, so how would I know what the book of Daniel is? And he starts talking about Nebuchadnezzar. So when I see the Nebuchadnezzar on the ship, I'm like, are you kidding me? So I Google it because all I knew was he was a speaker of tongues. Daniel was the speaker of tongues to Nebuchadnezzar. That's all I knew. And he had visions of 4 different, whatever you want to call it. That's all I knew. Now this movie pops up. Nebuchadnezzar comes on. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like it's full of religion stuff. It's full of, stories of the past that came out 21 years ago that could be just as relevant today as it was 21 years ago. We can either keep ourselves locked in our phones and act like we're not going through this, or we can pull ourselves back out of the Matrix like they did when they rang the 5 alarm bells saying pandemic and start looking at this from a more thought process other than, okay, it's over. There's people that think they're sick. They keep going to the doctor because they just love going to a doctor. That has nothing to do with people being sick. The movie just has to do with showing you what you can do when you're brought to your knees. You can either bow down and say, let's roll over and forget about it, or you can try to do something about it. And so I've been saying to Trinity, if I help Mojo up and Mojo and me are up, and then we go and we help Shady up. Well, now we're a trinity. There's 3 of us. 3 of us together are pretty damn unstoppable. And then, you got the Neo below, like the Richards and the Marquis, that are the true people that can go out there and kick the ass. And we're just going, hey guys, how you doing today? Can you please help 3 brothers out that are struggling? And it's a good cause. And next thing you know, here's Robert, here's Richard, Jessica tunes in every Wednesday, and it gives us hope. And thus, hopeforhumanity2020.com.org.info. I know it's a shameless plug, but it's the truth. And Robert's known this from day one, since the day I met him. Jack, our Swami, last Thursday, what Robert didn't tell you was, in that movie, in the first 10 minutes, I walked out like The Walking Dead. And Mojo and Shady know that last Thursday, I was MIA. Mel, MIA. Not her, me. And they're like, what the hell? For me to miss this show, which matters the most to me, was a big deal. And then to have to go get new treatments and going through what feels like chemo, I'm telling long haulers, believe me, no matter how down it looks. I mean, look, we got 3 busted old men up here. We still show up and doing the show. And then we got the young bucks down below there going, yeah, man, come on. And it gives us that fire in our belly. That makes our trinity get stronger. So the more hands you help up, the stronger you're going to get. It might not seem that way all the time, but doing it alone is a hell of a lot harder than swimming in a kayak by yourself, paddling away. I'd rather be on a 6-man white water raft right now going through this than by myself in a kayak. So anyways, that was my little rant on the movie and the long haulers of why we care so much about you, because this is personal to me because it's attacking me. This is personal to my friends because it's hurting them. And it's hurting them watching me suffer too. And we're all suffering. Like, we can all raise our hand up and say, hey, I'm in pain, and legitimately mean it. We love you guys tuning in, but we also want you to understand that we feel your pain, and we try to give you a little bit of hope and a little bit of humor and hopefully just a little bit of faith to help you get through each day. So can we just take a 5-minute break? Mojo and Shady and Richard and Robert, catch a drink.
I have some information when we come back too, so that'll work.
Okay, can we do that, Shady?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Seriously, it'll take like 2 minutes. I need to clear my head for a minute.
I think that's code for get high.
Guys,
Speaking of.
I'm being good tonight. You guys happy? I'm being real good tonight. I promise myself I ain't gonna pick on nobody.
nah, man, I support bad behavior, bro.
I said I wasn't gonna pick on nobody or nothing tonight.
I did not.
I let it all out last night. I felt bad this morning.
Y'all keeping it friendly today, huh?
Well, I am. I don't know about Shady.
We're only 30 minutes in.
Man, I really did fall asleep though. I had it all queued up and everything. I fell asleep. Honestly, it was like it had to be 5 minutes into it. I was out.
Yeah.
Well, you got to give the body what it needs.
Yeah. But I'm not like really a movie person though. Like, people always want me to go to the movies. And
Man, but those are just one of those movies, bro, that just like it hits with the era, with like that time and era of like those years, And then like those are those like it's like watching like Jurassic Park, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you gotta watch Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you haven't seen Jurassic Park, there's something wrong.
Yeah. So it's lots of action in it in the movie.
Yeah, man. There's hella action in every single one of those movies, and that's like those movies are almost like those sequels, bro. Those sequels that you look for. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's like and especially in that time, bro, when they were doing it, like how sometimes nowadays they come out with a part 2, and you're like, you guys just should have left it at part 1. This shit's like, keep it coming. Where we going now?
And the whole thing was the proverbial, good versus evil too.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
You can't have a good movie without bad versus evil.
It was man versus machine. And the
Yeah,
machines
yeah,
were the machines were just destined to take over, and the machines were like basically the agents on the other side in the Matrix. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy how they made that whole mix, man. It's wild. It's almost like one of those things where they let your mind take it like wherever the hell it wants to go. You know?
Where's that?
I mean, our minds, we don't need to go anywhere. This lifts away for us anyways. I'm just saying we hit this thing and we're going, yeah, it's a great movie. Oh, it's even better now.
Yeah.
Now I remember the zeros and the ones and all that stuff. So it's coming back to me.
Yeah.
There
What
we
about
go.
you,
Binary
Mojo?
code.
All right, guys, I want to welcome everybody back to the Dan the Messenger Show. Myself, Shady Spencer, the handsome, always devilish Mojo Wilson. We got the Swami on tonight, Jack Stone. We have Richard, the amazing videographer, movieographer, just a hell of a guy. And then we got Robert Poss, a.k.a. the photographer of the world, who's published, I don't know, 300-400 different articles, magazines, pictures, models. Like, the guy's global. Like, he goes all over, Mojo. Like, you need a girlfriend?
Yeah, I need. Well, I need a wife, a girlfriend.
What are you talking about? I've been single for 10 years.
He's galactic.
Sorry
He's
for
beyond
that,
universal. He's galactic.
Hey, you go to his Instagram page, you'll see what I'm talking about, Mojo. You'll find your girlfriend on there. I promise.
All right. Okay. All right.
You know, we were just talking about the Matrix, the movie, but last night Mojo was talking about going on a dating app. Did you go on a dating app?
You know, first of all, how you gonna put me out like this?
We put it on.
I was
Beauty of editing.
I was looking through my Facebook and I was like, oh, this Facebook dating app. Huh. I wonder who's on this thing. And I went to go scroll and I was up, you know, and there was a couple of girls on there, but I said, I don't need a dating app because my Chictionary and my phone is extremely full. I'd call somebody right now if I need to.
Okay. All right. And Jack, your friend was telling me, I know, Jackson, you're telling me your friend was on a site, right? And he's been doing, dating, having a ball. I mean, it's, I guess you got to go out sometime, right? You got to live. I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying, we all want to have our trinity, our better half. We want to have someone to give us our yin to our yang. What I'm saying, there's no shame in wanting to have a better half. Now, Shady has one, and he still looks miserable. So I don't know how to fix it. He's grumpy.
Dan's in rare form tonight. He got his treatment. He's feeling good. He's
Yeah.
feeling froggy tonight.
Yeah, but I mean, Shady knows it's all love. He knows he's going through it. Mojo knows it's brotherly love. Like, to have a smile on Mojo's face. Hey, Shady, get off my lawn.
Oh, he's not listening to us right now.
Oh, he beat us out. He'll listen to an editing.
He's watching a movie.
Guys, real quick.
Yeah, go ahead, Robert. I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me bring this back to our.
Somebody needs to hold on. Somebody needs to mute their phone. There's way too much noise.
I think that's Jessica cooking. Somebody's cooking.
Okay.
Mhm.
There we go.
I got you, Jess.
Sorry.
Oh no, it's okay.
We'll get you on here in a minute. So welcome back to the Dan the Messenger Show. We just came back from a break. We got Robert Poss on, who really is an amazing guy, a photographer that's known models all over the place. Great. But he's also been a little bit of a religious person most of his life, and so I call him the pastor. So, Robert, tell us what you're going to say.
No, well, so we talked earlier about the Matrix, and we were touching on some of the things and everything. If you haven't seen the movie, the main, I guess, home base of everything that happened in the Matrix happened on a spaceship or I guess a hover type ship. Anyway, this ship or vessel, and the vessel's name was Nebuchadnezzar, and we were having a little discussion, and it was kind of a little misquote on my part because when you get out of the word and stuff, and you're not as attested as you should be and reading the word every day, it gets a little rusty. So it's time to pull out the sword and sharpen it up a little bit. But anyway, the Nebuchadnezzar was the name of the vessel, and Nebuchadnezzar in the Bible, he was actually the king, very significant in the book of Daniel, but he was a Babylonian king. Actually, I think he was a Chaldean is the race of people or the the civilization was known as the Chaldeans. But anyway, he's very significant in the Bible because he literally destroyed King Solomon's temple, which was built to worship God and under God's view and everything. But he destroyed the Temple of Solomon, and he was known basically for the start of like the main Jewish captivity throughout all of Babylon. The discussion that we were having is in Daniel, Daniel in the lion's den and everything, that story. I just wanted to clear up that King Nebuchadnezzar was not that particular king. When Daniel was, in the situation, Daniel was dealing with a king named Darius, and I didn't want that to be left out in the open. So for clarity's sake, King Darius is the one that threw Daniel in the lion's den, and he did that because the king made a decree across the whole kingdom that if you prayed to God other than the gods that were okay for you to pray with, which is basically like secular gods, I forget the god term, but anyway, he made a decree that it was basically illegal for them to pray to the one own true God. And Daniel would always 3 times a day, the same spot every day, would get on his knees and he would pray to the Jewish Jehovah God. And they basically came and caught him in the middle of his prayer one day and grabbed him based on the decree of the king, and they threw him in the lion's den. And that's the whole story, where it began, is the famous Daniel's in the lion's den. But like I said, I just didn't want to leave that out in the open as being wrong, because somebody that hears it and knows better will be like, oh, that's the wrong king. So anyway, for clarity's sake, Nebuchadnezzar is very significant in the book of Daniel, but he was not the main king that we were talking about with the lion's den, but very significant to Daniel's period and era of time. So
Just so you know, I'm not Neo, by the way. I'm more like Morpheus going, go ahead. You guys go out there. My vessel's broken. But as a spirit, between Mojo, Shady, and myself, I think we might make the Trinity just enough to make you guys want to come back and say, we will win. We will get through this. Raise yourself up. If you can't, ask your brother for help. We're not trying to shove stuff down your throat. We're trying to raise you back up through these difficult times. And as a long hauler myself, I get up every day and I do say, thank you, God. And every night before I go to bed, I said, thank you for today and give me another. And that's how serious this is to me. And long haulers know the seriousness and the feelings of it. Jessica, are you able to talk?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you're moving around, which is awesome.
Well, I have no choice. I got to feed the kids.
Okay.
I had to rest when I got off of work, though. I literally slept for like 2 hours before I could even go to her volleyball game. So, but you got to push through no matter how much you hurt, because my colitis is acting up a lot the last few days. But you just got to do what you got to do. So.
And I mean, from a personal question for me, you've been here 3 weeks now, right? Is it 3 weeks?
Yes.
Are you getting anything from the show as a long hauler? Does it help you? I mean, give us your perspective.
I just look forward to being able to voice and explain how I feel, and some days are better than others. And just to know that just because you can have 3 or 4 bad days and then 2 or 3 good days, but I mean, it's just being able to talk and listen to other people. It kind of just helps you and vent, because like I said, a lot of people don't want to hear the fact, oh, you're not a long hauler. It's really nothing, so this is just like it just releases a lot of frustration and stuff that I have. So I'm enjoying it. And I get to laugh with y'all because y'all are a bunch of nuts, but it's just this is just like my sanctity for dealing with this,
So do you think I should continue on doing Wednesdays dedicated to, a long hauler version show, or should we stay in the regular format? I'm asking you as another long hauler.
I like this. I look for, you see, I did it at the volleyball game because I just wanted to listen. I enjoy this. This is just, it's an escape, because like I said, a lot of people don't want to hear it. They're tired of hearing about the COVID, but they don't know what we live with and what we have to deal with, It just sucks. Like I still like things taste different to me still. I still really don't have it. I've lost 25 pounds. I don't want to be skinny. Skinny's not in. I'm trying to have like I'm trying to be at a, how can I say? My man likes weight on me.
Be bootylicious.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what it is.
I ain't got the booty right now. I done lost that. I done lost it all. I don't even have the energy to really exercise. So what I'm doing right now is rushing, but I'm probably going to be exhausted by the time I get done cooking and be too tired to eat because I'm doing what I have to do. You know,
Listen, this is a shameless plug, Jessica, but it's not anything other than helping a friend out. The last week, the last two shows I did, I was barely able to do the shows. No lie, I promise you. And
right.
I was taking this stuff. My buddy Tony from Cold Laser Therapy got me onto. It's called Complete Superfood from Healthy Belly. And let me tell you, Shady and Mojo, when we were kids, Jackson and Robert, we watched Popeye. You know, like literally, he'd get that spinach, and next thing you know, he's got super muscles.
Right.
This stuff right here, I promise you, what's going on is your body is using so much energy that you're not getting enough nutrients into your system. I promise you, that's one of it. It's not going to cure your tiredness, but it's going to help. I promise you. There's a link. I get nothing from this, nothing at all. This is a long hauler talking to another long hauler saying, please, if you want a little help with your energy, it's called Complete Superfood by Healthy Belly. It's on my Facebook page. I'll put the link up. I'll put the link up on my whatever, the Dan Messenger page and the Hope for Humanity page. But this stuff is amazing. It's a little scoop, and you put it into the protein shake. Because I've been losing weight too. I was losing 3 to 4 pounds a week like clockwork. And last week I was so exhausted that I had to go get extra treatments. And Jack Sloan had to take care of me. And he'll tell you, Jack, I mean, I don't mind you sharing. Go ahead, tell him. Robert.
Well, through the weekend, you know, Dan had this powder, and I said, that's great. So I said, I'll make you a shake. So I grabbed my cold processed whey protein and mixed it with the superfoods and stuff, because Dan said the superfoods were working. He could feel it. So I gave him extra shots of protein, and that's when I said, you know, if you eat a heavy meal and your body's weak, it can't process all that heavy foods and stuff. But especially in the morning, if you can give yourself something that's easily digestible, that your body doesn't have to break down all that stuff, it can give you more energy in the morning, and you can have it a couple times a day whenever you're just feeling that dip.
Now Robert's seen me. Robert, how did I look Thursday?
Oh yeah, man. I mean, you worried me. Like you came out and was kind of like really lethargic and was kind of walking around. You know, a couple of times you came out. But yeah, I was genuinely concerned. I was literally like praying. I was like, all right, you know, I'm thinking, I just kind of came in and started living with you and stuff. And like, I was like, oh man, did I mess up? Like, what's going on? He's acting like a crazy person right now. And I just kind of prayed and, you know, kind of on my spirit, you know, God just kind of like, hey, you know, just hang on, just wait a minute. I'm still doing some stuff. And yeah, man, from you coming back from the treatment, it was just like night and day. Like, I was like, wow, he's cognizant. His mind is there. Like, I mean, I could definitely tell that like you literally like snapped back 180 degrees from that situation. I was like, it was sad to see, but when you came back from treatment after the 2 days, it was just like, wow, this is a totally different person. So it definitely was a big difference and a big impact on, you know, your situation. So I'm glad to see that.
And as a long hauler, you know, they're watching the show and they see me in the morning talk and then they see me at night, and it's different. Well, as much as we try to make this real talk, let's talk about it, you still have to add some variety to the show to get people to want to listen and connect. So I don't mind exposing my truths, because if I acted like I was doing fine all the time, long haulers would be like, this guy's full of shit. Well, no, this guy's been suffering since last year. My buddy Jackson has been around me since then, has seen me deteriorate over a period of time. And thankful to him as a brother, I wasn't too shameful to say, hey, I need help. I told him this a couple weeks ago. I told Jack this a couple weeks ago. I said, hey, man, I might need to come down and stay with you for a few days at a time because I need to get these treatments. Now, long haulers, I'm telling you this treatment works. I just can't talk about it openly because we're working on doing a study. The second I can talk about it openly, I will fucking tell you. But this shit works. Robert and Jack has seen it work. And once we have long haulers in this study, that's what Hope for Humanity is about. Helping find hope, giving hope back for humanity, and not giving up our battle. And Robert Swear to God, on 20 stacks of Bibles, the treatment I'm getting right now is damn near in that movie. Damn near in that movie. Am I
Oh
making
yeah,
it up?
that was pretty cool.
And what happened to me, I said I had to call a friend up.
Oh yeah,
I was that out of it, but that one little thing woke my brain up just enough to say I have to call a friend up.
yep, you sure did.
So long haulers, I promise you, if there's a drug out there like ivermectin or endomethacin, oh yeah, guess what? Dr. Oz is openly talking about ivermectin now and how he had his mom treated for it. Surprise, surprise. I'm not trying to be here to be the guy. I'm trying to be there to help you guys as well as myself get through this, because apparently the gang that can't shoot straight ain't going to tell you the truths. And they're going to watch people like Jessica and me wither on the vine if we don't get the right treatments that we need. She's shaking her head because she knows exactly what I'm saying. And did some of these groups that are out there, Shady, these so-called long hauler groups, they've made themselves very clear that they're political about this. Any long hauler out there that is really a long hauler, the last thing we give a shit about is who is what. I don't care if you're purple, yellow. I don't care what flag you want to hold up. If you've got a cure and you have a way to stop suffering, please call us. Please reach out to us because we're not afraid to talk about this. Doctors, reach out to us. We don't care. We're trying to get information out to help people. And that's what it says, Shady. I don't know if you've seen that. Can you mention where they can go to see the actual podcast?
Well, I mean, right now, I mean, we're going to be sharing it a lot on social media, but it's going through the podcast playground, which is affiliated with Shaquille O'Neal's network, which is Shaq Fu Radio. That's another, yes, that's the music platform that they have. But it's going to be available on basically everywhere you can get download your favorite podcast. We're going to be listed right there with them.
And because they announced that there's a little tag on there that says COVID-19 facts. Well, I mean, as close as they can get from medical sources, which we have, we're not advocating being your own doctor. We're just saying there are treatments. They know this. At least, reach out to your doctor. Say, hey, have you heard about this ivermectin? Or have you heard about endomethacin? Have you heard about taking like a combination cocktail drugs? Ask questions. Don't let them bully you around. Don't let them to tell you what's wrong. You start helping doing your own research. And if it's coming on the show on a Wednesday as a long hauler and sharing like Jessica, please come on anytime. Right, Jessica? It's an open invite.
Right. So I had met somebody from South Africa when I went to my friend's funeral, and she told me that the reason why the South Africans don't get the COVID is because, with the malaria and all that, they got treated with the Plaquenil. Don't know how true it is, but she was walking around with no mask, and that's what they believe because they've already had that in their body to protect them from the COVID. I don't know.
Well, that's a new one. Plaquenil.
Hydrochloroquine.
Oh, yeah.
It's a chloroquine drug. Yeah, it's just a different name.
She said that. Yeah, well, I was using the regular term, sorry, but that's what she told me. She walks around with no mask because that's where they all believe in, over there. That's what they got treated with when they were younger, so their body's immune to the COVID. I was like, oh, interesting, but I'm still going to wear my mask.
So, first of all, my story has been shared with endomethacin, which is very similar to what the same principle of hydroxychloroquine. It sheds the viral loading. So it shuts down the replicating factor of the virus. It's a science. You can Google it. You're going to see medical websites. It's going to pop up. You're going to see .gov medical websites. It's all out there. We're not hiding anything. It's there. Unfortunately, the show is going to be dedicated to long haulers on Wednesdays for a while. We don't see any end in sight for that. We do all have 99 problems. Shady's going to be taking care of one of his here sooner than later. I want to thank the Punisher president, Tank, for coming on from the Southwest Florida chapter, right? Shady, is that correct?
Yeah. So, something that I thought was kind of interesting, we were talking about some of these different drugs. And so, when I had my motorcycle accident and I went into the ER, he comes in and hands me a bottle of medicine. He goes, I'm going to give this to you. He goes, this is something that we give usually to treat gout. And he goes, this is indomethacin. And I was like, hold on, I've heard that name before. He goes, do you know what this is? And I said, yeah, I actually know what this is because there's a podcast that I'm on, and Dan, the messenger, talks about indomethacin and how he uses it to treat his after effects of COVID. I said, that's kind of interesting. He's like, well, this is mainly used for, like inflammation. That's what we really want this for, is the inflammation in your knee. So that way it can, bring that down. And then, we can, get the swelling down. So I thought that's kind of interesting that, you were talking about this, because I know you were saying before, he's like, yeah, we use the indomethacin helps with the inflammation in your brain. And so it seems like some of these drugs that you kind of jumped out ahead of a lot of different things. And because I think it's been talked about so much, now doctors are starting to realize, well, crap, maybe some of these drugs we need to get out into the real public, because I'm not saying they're super drugs, but, they have multiple, they can treat for multiple different things.
And that's really why I created the charity, because I was asked to create it by the big guy, hopeforhumanity2020.com, hope4humanity2020.com. Listen, we need help, guys. If you're tuning in, you can donate $5, donate $5. If you can donate 20, donate 20. We're trying to do something almost like a miracle. It's almost like we're on the Nebuchadnezzar ship right now going, where's he at, Neo? Where's Neo at? Because we got Morpheuses all day long. We need some Neos to step up. And no pun intended with Shady's, one of his famous songs, will the real Slim Shady please stand up, right? Like, can someone stand the fuck up? People need help. And I'll go back one more time. I don't care if it's your mayor, your council member, your senator, congressman, or governor. We need help. I don't care if it's the president. I don't care if it's the Senate or the Congress. Mojo needs his $1,500 check, okay? We just got to get that out right out the gate. But the rest of us need it too. Us long haulers, we're suffering. We need treatments. We need drugs. And we need some compassion from our fellow human beings saying, heck, can I help you, my brother, like you guys have done for me? So,
and Dan, the reality is now we are all a part of the one. We are all the one. Once we get our heads on straight.
Oh, Robert.
The cool thing about that too, Jack, is I was going to say everybody's was talking about the Savior and stuff and making Neo like God. I mean, ultimately God gives us the power and it lives within us. And that's where we're all talking about this. Like our souls get saved and Jesus literally comes in and lives inside of us. It's through that power. So it's not to say, oh, look what I'm doing. It's like, look what God is allowing me to do because God has entrusted me with power. And it literally says we're more than conquerors because of that power. So when Jesus was crucified in the Bible, he literally told us that, I'm going to prepare a place for you in heaven with my Father, but I will send another, and that's going to be the Comforter, the Holy Spirit. So that's where we get the Trinity, God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And a lot of people don't know what the connection is. Well, when Jesus was here, he was the physical. God is in heaven, of course, so he's the main entity. But now we have the Holy Spirit and that little still small voice that people probably will never admit to hearing sometimes. Some people will. They hear the voice, but they reject it. And that's again, stuff that's in the scriptures. But that still small voice that tells us what to do. And we know in our heart that's the right thing to do in situations. That is the Holy Spirit speaking to us. And that is the connection that we have and the power that we have. And through the Holy Spirit, there's a lot of amazing things that can happen if we let God move through the Spirit. But that's the thing. Go back to free will. We literally have the ability to stop God in his tracks when it comes to certain things. Yeah, there's plans that are going to happen and God's going to want stuff to happen. But if someone says, oh, I don't think I want to do that today, God, he's not going to be like, oh, I'm going to strike you down with lightning because you're not doing it. No, he's going to move on and he's going to find somebody to fill that plan. And it may not happen the exact same way that he had intended, but that plan will go through. It just won't be you involved because you made that choice not to involve yourself.
So leading on blind faith, Even though people are going to look at you like you're half batty, sometimes that's what you have to do to get through stuff like this. Because, like it or not, we've been pulled out of the matrix.
Oh yeah.
Pre-COVID-19 ain't coming back. It's a different world, just like after 9/11. You wake up and you go, okay, we just got the shit knocked out of us, so what do we do? Except this is the hangover that won't go away. And so you got to get used to it, fight through it. As a long hauler, I know what it's like. But everybody else, just hold on. This ride, we got to just keep believing. Keep keeping the faith. We will win. We will get through this. I got to give a special shout out to Tony Willoughby from Cold Laser Therapy RX. This man right here is key essential to my relief of pain, musculoskeletal pain, chronic pain, knee pain, back pain, sports injuries, arthritis, post-surgery, fibromyalgia, cold laser acupuncture. You know, so sometimes shows have more meanings than you just listen to it once. But Tony Willoughby from Cold Laser Therapy RX, you're a brother. We miss you for not being on here, but you're busy too. But he's still a brother in arms. So thank you for that. And Richard, I know it's been a kind of a low-key night for you, but tomorrow night we're going to do a Throwback Thursday.
All right.
That means we're going to talk about some old school stuff. Like when your dad was out, Shady and I were out playing in clubs. We were entertaining the masses to some bumping ass 90s, 2000s music, right, Shady?
Yeah, brother.
Yeah, drugs, rock and roll, badass hoes, and shiny disco balls.
Okay, there you go. And Jackson, one last thing about Jackson, Mr. Robert Poss. When I watched Machine Gun Preacher and Shady, I don't know if you know that he was in here, but I watched it with Jack. And I wasn't even thinking, because every time I see a movie, it's almost new again. Like I got to re-warm up the memory. And so I'm watching the movie with Jack like it's the first time too. And I forgot about the opening scene in the movie. And it's a very heavy, heavy scene of what was going on in Africa with Comey during those times. And I didn't think that Jack was going to get the reaction that he was going to get from it, because I forgot that he was in the Peace Corps. And Jack was in Africa. And Jack, tell us your perspective on that movie, since Shady got a chance to hear it from another guy yesterday.
Well, there were child soldiers in Sierra Leone. There was a civil war there as well that wreaked havoc with the country. So I was real well aware of that kind of action and just that horribleness of all that in Sierra Leone. And then it's popped up other places in Africa. And so that was, the scenes in there were very lifelike. So it took me back like yesterday. The long-term memory works pretty well. Great experiences, but a whole nother way of living. I mean, it's rough.
What did I tell you I wanted to do more than anything last week?
You want to go get some African dirt and hold it in your hand. And
I don't know why.
Yeah.
I really don't, but that's just part of, God's plan. He's telling me to do things and I do it.
Earth is good, man. You've got to be grounded. That's take your shoes off, walk barefoot, and connect with Mother Earth. We've lost a disconnection there as a people. Everybody's always wearing shoes, flip flops, whatever, and that's part of your electromagnetic biometric system. We need grounding. We're an electronic, amazing machine. So.
Well, bless you for
great movie.
Honestly, sincerely, thank you for what you did, Jack.
I'm here to help, man. You know that. That's what I'm here for.
One thing men are, we're the biggest pussies on the planet. When we're sick, we're twice as sick as the women. It's just truth. It's real talk. Jessica's shaking her head up and down. Mojo and Shady are going, But I know the truth. Look, he looks grumpy already. He hasn't even done anything yet. I mean, he feels Shady's laughing, but it's true. And what a friend does for another friend, watching them suffer through this, it takes a lot from an individual. So I thank you humbly, Jack. And same thing for you, Shady. If I can get up there and take you off the couch, I'll do that as soon as I can. And Richard, He
Yes,
can't
sir.
he can't wait to shoot. He's got like this super toy that he can't wait to use, and I love that. You know, that I remember that. Hey, Shady, you remember when you used to be that happy?
When I got like new DJ equipment, I'm like, I got a new toy. This is awesome.
Yeah, and you DJ for like 10 hours, and your girlfriend like, I'm gonna beat your ass. You play one more
Yeah,
time.
it's so it's funny because I've used the Ronin before. It's just that they came out with this new one where it's kind of like just a stick. So I mean, it's kind of like the same thing. It still works as a 3-axis gimbal, but I mean, yeah, it's a nice little new toy to play around with.
Now, I asked everybody. I said, hey, I want you guys to start opening up your Rolodexes. And I know we were supposed to have a band, Shady, a group. That means I think more than we actually know. Are we still working on that route?
Yeah, I mean, we were working on it for last week, but you were sick for a couple of days, and then we had a couple of days out this week. So yeah, I mean, I just got to reach back out to the group, and we'll get the ball rolling again.
Okay, and Richard,
Yeah, brother.
since we're gonna do like a Throwback Thursday thing, I'll just see how I feel tomorrow. Let's like a Miami Vice night. You know, let's glam it up a little bit. Let's have a little fun. Let's do a Throwback Thursday. Like play some Miami Vice-ish type of music. You know, a few
Yeah,
little
bro.
breaks, you know, and Richard, if you want to invite your dad, hey, listen, we like old school cats. We want to hear some good stuff. You know, we want to give the audience some good, fun things to talk about. You know what I'm saying? And you know, like we almost complete the full circle of what Miami Vice is about. Between Jack and Shady and Mojo and me and you and your family, like, and Robert, like Robert's an old school hat too. Don't let him fool you. He might throw out the tongue on you with the ministering, but he's been around a minute in this industry. He knows all about it like we do. So it's kind of a cool thing to do. So we can do some old school talk, and I'm sure some old school heads will be like, hell yeah, I can rock with that. What do you think, Shady?
We'll make it happen. We'll see what we got.
All right, Jessica, you know, you want to have some fun tomorrow night? You know, make a Miami Vice drink and tell the world 2 fingers up. We're going to get through this.
If I could drink, I don't drink though.
Well, you know, I drink water and I act like it's, you know, something else.
Oh, I can do that. I drink juice.
I mean, I get crazy anyways. You know, long haulers this time of night, it's kind of like put them to bed.
I understand.
So,
But I was listening to, like you talking about music, I was listening to this 80s skate music today while I was at work.
look out weekends, because you're
Yep, that's exactly. And then
Egyptian
I
lover?
mixed. Yeah, and then I was listening to Def Leppard earlier.
Oh, well, then that's Shady. There you go. Get off my lawn. That's your kind of music.
I listen to everything. I had everything. I don't discriminate.
No, music's food for the soul. That's the
It is so much.
And we could use all the music, all the laughter, all the oh, by the way, Shady, I got a special interview next week with the Sydney Byrne and Davis Center. Melissa, shoot, you have to cut this part out. But Melissa and her producer want to do a sit-down interview to talk about both sides, our show and what they got going on with their 10-year annual movie festival, independent movie festival. So it's going to be a pretty cool thing that we set up today. Robert got a chance to look at it. But yeah, anyways, thank you for tuning in tonight. Just going to log this one out because I think we're all kind of beat. Right, Shady?
Yeah, it's been a long week.
Yeah. And if we got the energy, we're going to do this tomorrow night. But I'm healing. I'm getting treatments. As soon as I can get the study going with Dr. Roselle, who, hey, Shady, did you know this? Did you know there's something higher than a doctor?
You were talking about that yesterday a little bit. I don't remember what you called it.
It's a fellow.
Fellow.
And that's like the brass ring. Like you can't just go get a fellow. It ain't happening. It's a process. You got to go before a peer-reviewed group, your peers saying, yep, okay. And then you have to have a university back you, and you had to contribute something in your field. It's the brass. I mean, you get one of that, you can write your ticket anywhere. And this guy is a fellow. And I didn't even realize that when he was telling me in the interview what the hell fellow even meant because my brain was so out of it. And this guy is going to do a 100-patient study of long haulers. That's just one portion of it. He's been treating me for the last 3 months. If you guys wondered how I haven't gone completely crazy, it's because of Dr. Roselle, which I go get my treatments tomorrow with him. But we're going to try to figure this out. We're trying to find solutions to problems. We're not trying to add to your problems. We're trying to, add to some of the, take off that burden, have a laugh, find out maybe a new drug, maybe a new treatment. Maybe you might cry. Who cares? This is COVID world, right? Like, all you got to do is turn on the news if you want to get depressed. You don't need us. If you want to have a laugh, who knows what the hell's going to come out of our mouths?
Oh, I mean, it's like tonight. They came out with the whole the verdict with stuff going on in Louisville, which is only about an hour from where I'm at here in Lexington. I'm getting tons and tons of text messages right now, from friends in Louisville, because I mean, there's riots and protests, and apparently a cop just got shot. So I mean, it's like total chaos. So yeah, you want to get depressed, you want to feel like, holy shit, what's happening? Flip the news on.
And I'm not laughing. That's serious, right? That's some real talk right there. I'm laughing that I'm so out of it in the sense that I don't watch the news, that I can get why some of you might get upset with me when I'm just talking, in a certain way, not understanding what's going on, because I've already seen the writing on the wall.
Yeah.
If you can't know that something's going on happened in November, God bless you. If you're a patriot, you know what you got to do. If you're a man of God, you know what you got to do. Get right with God. If you're someone who wants to judge other people, then, go judge. That's between you and the big guy. It ain't between me. Mojo, he's back, looking fresh, sexy as ever. Like, how's he look the best out of all of us? How's that happening?
He's chillaxing for sure.
Hey, I'm good.
Apparently,
What
your
angle
vape
is that?
pen works.
I wasn't good in geometry. What angle is that? Like, is that
Richard,
What's up, brother?
did you hit that good stuff tonight, or are you just being with your new toy? What's going on?
Man, I'm entertained. I'm listening to you guys. I'm giving input, man, and I am always and always will be blazed.
Okay, all right. Well, there's the medicine man talking for us. By the way, I forget. Shady, that's our plug. That's our plug from now on, I guess.
Y'all can hit it for me. I can't smoke.
That's why they make gummies.
Oh,
yes.
I get drug tested. I'm a nurse. I can't.
Oh, yeah. Okay, well.
Hey,
All right,
listen. Marijuana's legal in Florida, licensed. If you're licensed, you're okay.
But I work for the government, so.
Oh, she's got one of those government jobs. Woo!
Yeah, you can't get past that one.
No. Yeah.
Well, we got to put that on the ticket. Hey, Mojo, what's the first thing you're going to do as president?
I'm gonna make sure everyone gets that stimulus money.
That's what I'm talking about.
I checked. Hey, look, I woke up this morning. I was like, I was scrolling down. Like when you wake up in the morning, you pick up your phone, checking messages, scrolling through Facebook, and I'm like, stimulus. Where's the stimulus thing? Still nothing.
All right. Well, we know we went through this last night. Number one on his list is looking for that $1,500. What was number two, Shady? Can you remember for 500 today? What is it?
What the first thing that he does? He I don't know. All I remember is the stimulus check.
Oh my God!
Now I actually think he said the first thing he does is he checks his bank account to see if the money's in there.
Lord Jesus.
Well, I used to do that every single morning, but then when I kept on seeing zeros, I'm like, well, you know what? Let me just look at the Facebook post to see if there's something online.
Richard,
I know there's no money in there.
Richard, we got to create a GoFundMe for this whole show. Like we're all falling to pieces. Like we're running, the wheels are hanging off. It's like a bad episode of Miami Vice. Like the heat is on. It's on us. Like yeah, we're trying to run from it, but there ain't no getting away from it. Unfortunately,
yeah, man.
We're here, right? And thank you for the laughs, guys.
Of course, of course.
Jessica, thank you. I hope you keep feeling better. See you next week. Tell all the long haulers, get their ass on here. We ain't got no politics. We don't care. We're here to give you a smile, lift you up when you're down, and hopefully we get through this all together one piece. That's just the way.
Is there a movie?
What's that?
Is there a movie for next week?
There is.
The
Could be a
Matrix Part 2.
documentary or something like that. We're filming it right now.
Well, I'm not going to tell you this one in order. This one's out of order. This one is called The Professor and the Madman. This is a recent one, though. And it's with Mel Gibson and Sean Penn. And it's actually based off a true story of how the Oxford Dictionary was created. Doesn't sound like a sexy thriller, but I tell you what, the acting in the story is amazing. Jack, did you watch that with me? Did we watch that?
Yes, I did. Yeah, it was good, crazy.
Yeah.
It was.
I mean,
it was great.
You know, basically, it's two men. One's a professor, and the other one is a ex-surgeon that's in prison for being in an insane asylum. They end up connecting together, and their story of what they accomplished with that with the Oxford Dictionary was beyond incredible. And we need that type of muster right now. We need that type of vigor in people to say, you know what, we're going to push through this, and we're going to do it as a team. And the faster we work as a team, the faster we'll get through this. And the movie has a lot of great stuff in it. Like, wow, it's like Shady, you know, talking about the Matrix or talking about Machine Gun Preacher and running into a guy that knows Sam Childers. And while we're doing the interview, he's like, hey, look who's texted me. Like, I don't want to put him on blast, but it was Sam Childers. These experiences aren't by a coincidence. We're here together. We're riding together. We're like bad boys for life. But tomorrow night, it's going to be Miami Vice, the throwback edition. And thank you guys for tuning in to Dan the Messenger. We're out. Have a great night. Shady.
Have a great night. Peace out.
Exxon, Richard, Jessica,
Bye, y'all.
Robert,
Have a
Bye-bye.
good
Mojo.
Stay healthy.
Oh, why do I gotta be last? Why do I always last?
Well, I
'Cause
saved
you're
the
the
best for
man.
last. I saved the
'Cause you're the
best for
man.
last. There you go. See?
Okay, all right.
Oh, see?
I
I got a
because I
witness.
was black.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Come
Shady-
on now, man.
Shady's going to be editing like crazy tonight.
Yeah, it's gonna be a
Motherfuckers.
rough one.
Anyways, thanks, guys. Seriously.
Yep. Have a good night.
Good night.
Bye, y'all.
Bye. Love you guys. Bye.
Shady Mojo.
Yes.
Hold on for a minute.